Welcome to another episode of Basement Quality Banter, episode 58 we're having tonight. Good evening, Caesar.
Good evening. How you going, Luke?
Yep, good. Do you have a beverage?
I do. I have Evo Mega Corp. I've got their Polyurus high score. So one of the leftovers on the pack that came through.
Yep.
So it was very good. Ooh, nice and dark. I believe you had this the other week.
Yeah, it was amazing. Myself, we mentioned a couple of weeks ago about the exploits of mountain culture, and then going to Southeast Asia with juice trip. So I got a juice trip. I've had it before, but I thought I would dig it out of the fridge. It's their 7%, 355ml fruit enhanced hazy IPA. And I've had it before. It's an absolute bomb. I hope those flavors can reach Southeast Asia for sure.
Yeah. And for those playing at home, this Polyurus high score is a 11.5% coconut juice delicious.
Oh, the dulce leche with the coconut.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Good. Very, very nice. It's sweet, coconutty, stouty, huge, vegan. Amazing drop, that one. Alrighty. Well, we've got Angus on moving house assignment this week, so it's just 2 up tonight. And I'll start with beer news. And as Caesar posted in our Facebook group, Torella Brewing has had to pay over $150,000 after pleading guilty to unlicensed trading practices to the Sunshine Coast Council. This has been a nightmare for all following this story. Basically, my understanding is that they were originally set up with the incorrect type of license, which actually licensed the whole property, the acres that they had on. They became a successful community hub with a petting zoo and entertainment, good times for the community, and traffic became an issue. So they pleaded for patrons to park in certain areas. A big issue was a neighbouring Airbnb property started a campaign of noise complaints, despite living in North Queensland. So much so that they stopped advertising live entertainment on their website, because that's when Karen, we'll call her, was reporting all of the live music, and sometimes even when bands had cancelled, the complaints came through as well. So that's how they knew that was happening. It prompted the council to look closer into the licenses of the brewery and found that they weren't operating under the correct ones, despite the original approvals. Instead of working with the brewery, though, it seems that they fined them and then blocked the applications to rectify. There was a lot of to and froing there for a while, and they even told media about, like the Sunshine Coast newspapers, what they actually wanted instead of actually talking to the brewery owners. So after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to meet the expectations, Torella called it quits on the whole shebang, closed up shop. They couldn't keep fighting, and now they've been stung with more. I really think the council and business could have worked better for the community to sort of come up with some sort of arrangement, even if some of that licensed area was converted into a car park or something. It just seems like a bureaucratic nightmare that really didn't need to be.
It's definitely a really tough one, because in their post, one of the things that they did note is that they believe that it gave them a bit of an unfair advantage on the competition. Look, it's hard to. It seemed like in the article that they actually did try to get it right, and all they had done is not had the been able to get approval for the selling of food and alcohol.
Yeah.
Rather than, because even though the noise complaints are coming in, it seems like the noise complaint, according to the article anyway, Didn't seem like they were too concerned about noise, but the brewery itself or the serving was what the council took exception to, which is a bit hard. For local, like you really want it. Like if you've got breweries closing and you've got small businesses like this, you want to do what you can to help them. So whether the Noosa or the Sunshine Coast Council is needs to look at their process as well. I know there's been breweries that have opened that have had to jump through massive hoops. You would know that, Luke. You've had to do that. Like, having to prove that the steam coming out of the kettle is not going to affect the local airports and that sort of stuff.
And how many meters is the nearest sink to the nearest this? And they do get really strict with that, which makes it interesting because they were originally, they had a license that covered not just the brewery but the whole property, which is wrong. It shouldn't have been. They technically could have had a bar in the back corner of the acres. So I think they were set up with the wrong license to start with. And even though they've tried to rectify it, it obviously has fallen on deaf ears. And they went to the council, came to the paper and said, "Oh, you should have 42 people in the brewery to be fed at the time." And the brewery came out and said, "Well, at no stage did you ever tell us that's what you wanted. If you wanted us to just have a 42 seat, food inside the brewery, we would do that, but it was sort of too late."
Yeah.
The next story I had was the beer championships. We've mentioned it a few times. It's a new beer comp run by Justin Fox and Jane, and it sounds really interesting. I've got some of the important details though. So the entry window is very short. It's 11th of June to the 24th of June, so it's just on now. There's a delivery window 1st of July to 3rd of July. Judging is 21st to 23rd of July. The finalist live stream goes on the 19th of August. And then there's an awards season. This is a whole elongated 8 weeks of finalists, promotion, mixed packs, the whole commercial side of the competition they're really trying to push, with the Champions Night being the 14th of October. A couple of the things they're using the 2026 Brewers Association guidelines evolved for themselves, so that makes a lot of sense. Entry fees $220 plus GST per entry, and you've got to have 16 units provided as well, which is pretty steep. However, you're only allowed 5 entries per brand, so breweries with deep pockets can't go gun-ho and put 16 entries in. It's you can only have 5 entries, and then that's $9.90 per brand with GST. So it's not a cheap one. However, it really seems interesting, and I'm really keen to see how it's judged. Like we were saying, that they're still using paper and pen, and it's about the feedback and the rating scale, and I'm still really keen to see how this works and hope it works for them, and all the best. And from a judging point of view, I'm really keen to hear how that works as it evolves, and good luck to them.
Yeah, you tricked me up there this afternoon. I saw a post you posted for me. I'm like, where's the context of this? And of course, that makes more sense. Now that you've explained it a bit, it does. I actually like the interesting point you brought up there. There's only 5 entries per. Yeah, that would definitely bring the competition. You're not just flooding with taking out the entire category or whatever. You really got to think about what you want to judge or have. And then, of course, there's a situation where some competition, sometimes you want the feedback. So what do you want the feedback for, and what do you think you have a good chance with, and in what category? So,
do you pick your 5 best beers, or do you go for, there's 13 categories or 30 categories or whatever? Do you focus on certain categories? It's it's cool to see. I like the capping on the brewery. The feedback's really good as a judging part, but for the championships, I get it. So yeah. I have to correct the record with a dead wrong with my possibly flu brain related comments last week. 3 Ravens is still for sale. However, 6 Strings was the one that went into VA, and I think I got them mixed up. However, my thoughts are with both businesses as they continue to trade and try and get an outcome there. So sorry about that if I got that mixed up or if I was not precise with my inputs there. My next one is just a little note. Everyone who sees Corona in the bottle shops in the white boxes, you would probably know by now that it's all Chinese brewed, has been for a couple of years now. And they're soon to be dropping from 355 to a 330 ml bottle. So it's shrinkflation again, something that we all hate. So that's 600 mils less per case or 360 litres per pallet, which is not insignificant when you add up how many pallets get shipped out here to Australia from China each year. So that's definitely something to think about next time you're shopping. Watch your shrinkflation.
Mm-hmm. I was always, when I was in the bottle shops, you'd always see it flick between the old cardboardy type and the white.
Yeah,
and that will determine whether it was coming from international or whereabouts it was coming from.
Yeah, so the brown boxes were usually coming over from hot shipping containers straight from Mexico, and the white boxes, usually were, they were considered grey import, and the white boxes were the fresher, more expensive stuff, and then that moved to China, and when that moved to China, that's when Bolter brought out their Cerveza, trying to get that same recipe for an Australian market.
Yeah, it is always worth noting, and I think one of the big things that doing brew tours with Josh, which we've talked about previously, if you when you would know, Luke, when you're tasting, you can't really taste much below 3 degrees, so you need to warm it up.
Yeah,
and you definitely taste with the flavors. So, which is one of the reasons why a Corona is usually try and serve cold and in a very tight stubby. So you can't really get it. And if you actually warm it up, put it into a glass and give it a good rouse, you will notice the skank that you sort of get. And you go, so, but look, some people each to their own. Some people like a Corona, and some days it's just too bloody hot for anything else. So be it.
Yeah, and that's why when their brewing practices weren't fantastic, they used to put a lime in the top to stop the flies from getting in. And then that became popular. But I remember watching a Mega Factories episode, and I've mentioned it here before, when one of their new breweries in Mexico brewed 1 million bottles a day, which is pretty impressive.
Well, didn't they have a glass factory or a power plant next to the brewery so they could make the glass and stuff on site?
That's one of their factories.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I think it's only the Coronitas, the non-alc Coronas. I think it's the only product that they've ever canned. Yeah. Amazing. And your beer news?
Yes. So I got a couple. Okay, stumbled across a couple of things this week. As per usual, I usually do it while I'm scrolling when I'm definitely working. So sometimes I miss some stuff. So the short news that I remember picking up. So the one thing I did pick up is the long dormant Tasmanian Beer Trail, which was launched back in 2015 and then went out for a bit is coming back, which is really good news for the Tasmanian beer industry. With the James Bogue closing and that sort of stuff. So,
Yep.
so Beer Trail 2.0, whatever they do it. The IBA is basically completely rebuilding the digital platform to capture the wave of high-end food and beverage that is hitting Tasmania and really getting into like the gastronomy side of things, which is really, really good for them to do and to set themselves apart. If having been down there, you go to Tassie for food and drink.
Yeah.
So I'm always surprised at how many people can go to Tassie and spend a month there, and like that's a tiny, tiny place, and then you can never travel very far and see many things around Australia, but you can always find a month in Tassie on such a small island. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Testament to what they can offer.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I haven't been to Tassie. My wife has. I think it's definitely something I'd love to do.
Mm. It's fresh seafood, some great beers, good whiskey, very good whiskey from down there, actually.
Yeah.
So it's all good. The other thing that I stumbled across this week is Cooper's is charging into Queensland with Forex in their sites. Apparently, the family brewer has survived a hostile takeover from the fastest growing market, and it isn't done yet. So it's a bit of a David and Goliath sort of story. So Coopers is the fastest growing market in the market, clocking 4.8% growth, which is fantastic. I know from my experiences, I've been on the Coopers for a while. It's one of my first beers that I really got into. But I've seen some of my younger mates come through and they've been starting to drink it and stuff, which is really, really good. So for people that may not necessarily be fully craft nerds like us, it's a really good beer to get in.
They've got some really cool, approachable stuff. So the Cooper's Australian Lager in that sort of aqua can has been really popular. The Cooper's Dry and the Cooper's Dry 3.5. They're really cutting in on that easy lager or dry lager sort of market that the Queenslanders really, really tend to. They even put the dark ale in cans for us in Queensland. So, yeah, all the best to them. And I see it myself. I see a lot more Coopers going out the door, and especially canned stuff. Not too much bottled stuff, but the more canned Coopers in Queensland, I think, is definitely the way to go.
Yes. I always used to like going to a random bottle shop that didn't know how to read the Coopers best after dates.
Date. Yeah.
And they look at, it's after that date. Oh, I'm going to discount it. I'm like, they get cheap, good beer for nothing.
Yeah. Technically fresh Coopers, within 6 months, and oh no, it's discounted. Yeah. It's like going to a bar and they're not rolling your stubby on the bar before they open it. Like, come on,
mate. You just shake your head at the bartender if they do that to you.
Coopers used to have bar mats that were really cool. That you put your beer there and you roll it to there before you serve it, sort of thing.
Yeah, nice. I love it.
Yeah,
that's all good.
Any more beer news?
I had a little one. I noticed this little sneaky, my local hiker, the Salisbury Brewery.
Yeah.
I was down there the other week and I was talking to Phil, and he made mention of something that appeared this week. A bit cryptic, sort of, in the post that he posted. But I believe that what he has posted is he's putting in a kitchen.
Yes.
So down at Hiker Salisbury, they will have a kitchen coming, and so there's some really good stuff going ahead with that. And I know that there's been some talk too. They've been talking to some of the local breweries around the place, someone that we might know on this podcast about getting into the next Bermuda as well, which will be really good for them. and nothing's been announced yet, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, nice.
So,
yeah, I think the shipping container kitchen for Hiker Salisbury has sort of been on the cards for a while, even before East Brisbane sort of came up, and I think that sort of delayed plans and everything. But you know, you can only rely on food trucks so much. However, like having your own food offering, very expensive to run and overheads and ingredients and everything. But then you also get that reliability that you know that food's available all the time too. So I really hope that works out for them. Alrighty, so I think that's all our beer news. So now let's see if I can guess a brewery in 10-ish questions. It's Caesar's turn, but don't make it as hard as last time. Honestly, that was a nightmare.
I apologise. I thought, look, you're well knowledged. You might have a chance. But...
Oh, you're putting it back on me. Okay, fair enough. Yep.
I just thought I had too much faith in you, Luke.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Oh, look, I'll admit I was a little under the pump that day. I just picked something and didn't really research it properly like I should have.
Oh, so. But based on quality, what do we expect?
Exactly right. You know, you win some, you lose some. So, all right, when you're ready to go.
I think with this one we do more losing than winning, but anyway.
Yeah, well.
You won last week, so let's see if we can do. Okay. What country is this brewery in?
It's North American.
Okay. Would we have seen their products in Australia?
Yes.
Are they known for a particular style?
Not really. Not really.
Do you know if they're still independent?
No.
Ooh. Are they an old or newer brewery?
Old.
Considered
oldish. They're like begin 2000s officially as they currently stand, I should say.
Currently stand. Are they known for a particular style? Like,
they're known for a particular beer, but not necessarily a style.
So they've got one sort of.
There's a couple of big ones that you can sort of, you'll see come up often. But when you say it, you sort of go, oh, yep, that's them.
Okay. Yeah, and ones that we see here. So,
yes.
Ones we sort of covered before, we've done Russian River and Sierra Nevada before. I don't know if we've done Stone. I talk about Stone a lot, like Stone Berlin being my favourite brewery I've ever been to. Which is now Brewdog, which is now nothing.
Yes.
Is it Stone?
No.
Where
would you say that?
Yep.
Oh, so I was going to say one of their famous beers. It's their name and then the style that they use, but the style is not referred to the way we would refer to it in Australia. It's if I can't say too much or else it's too obvious. It's pretty obvious, I'll say that.
Not how we would refer to it in Australia.
Yeah. So if you use this word in Australia, it means one thing, but in North America, it is actually not referring to that in particular?
So light is probably the big one because they refer to light as in calories, where we do light as in alcohol.
That's correct.
So are we talking someone like Coors or Bud?
Talking cause.
Coors. Coors, very, very cool. Very cool brewery. I don't know if that was 10 or not. Oh, it must
Pretty
have been
close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually count it by the county, but
So
I can review the tape and work it out.
So that's where Chuck Hahn started his journey, and he actually, I think he designed Coors Light before he left, and I think Hahn Ice was a pretty close replication of that when he released that here.
Yeah, because he couldn't use the official light because it meant different. So in Australia, it's obviously light beer, which in America it's still very heavy, just good, better carbs.
Yeah, very cool. It's right on
I
the border.
I thought I picked that too, based around. Yeah, I believe there's actually quite a lot. So technically, the company is a multinational, which is more Molson Coors North America, which is why I went North America. So while Coors is Canadian, you do have Blue Moon, which you would know through the bottle shops, Carling, and Miller's. So, and then you've got all those sort of ones.
From SAB Miller, they took over that. Yep.
Yes. So, and that's why it's like the company keeps changing. So it's sort of like 2005 is a lot of the stuff sort of started, but it keeps changing depending on who they get acquired by and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
How do you see it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Good Drinks distributes them now, but I don't think they brew it. I think Cooper's. I know Cooper's brews Miller, so Cooper's might brew Coors and distribute it. But I still love the Rocky Mountain. It turns blue when it's cold in the fridge.
I love it. Like that. Yeah, 100%. Was one of my entry into sort of North American beers when I first started in the bottle shops. So no, it's good.
Did you ever have Moosehead?
I was looking at Moosehead tonight, and I was like, I know the name, but I hadn't tried it. I'm like, I really should try that. So I was nearly going to go, but it
used to be out here for a while, but I don't know what happened to it. Yeah. No, that was really good.
My research, and from my research I did, Moosehead is the Canadian's oldest brewery. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, if that comes up again, next time you do it, I'll have a head start.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's all of our beer news, and it seems to be there is an awful lot of sport going on at the moment. So I'll get into it. What's really cool is a lot of underdog stories coming through, and I love an underdog story. In the FIA Battery Management World Championship, Lewis Hamilton picked up his 106th career win, the first for Ferrari at Barcelona, the same place that Michael Schumacher picked up his first win for Ferrari as well. From all images and interviews and insights, it was a major goal of his. The Tifosi would have really loved it. Norris and Russell finished out the podium. Again, as we posted in the Facebook page, Nico Hülkenberg is extremely lucky that loose rock hit his emergency shutdown behind his head, and it didn't take out his visor in the meantime. I guess that's a win.
But decent hole in the cowling.
Yeah, just an absolute freak accident, and I'm glad he's all right. But things are looking up for Ferrari. I think Lewis has got his mojo back. McLaren and Mercedes, they got to, watch their bums.
Yes, they do. So that was good. I will say Lewis got very lucky with a virtual safety car. He just couldn't have been better. He missed the pit stop when they first put it in. He was in the lead. He hadn't stopped yet. He went round. He got in and they finished the virtual safety car as soon as he left the pits, which meant his tyres didn't cool down. They were perfect temperature. It was amazing. So he got really lucky, and well done to Lewis. He did seem like some of the footage. He was very emotional about it too. So
Yeah, he's had a
can't
lot of
complain too
pressure on
much.
him. So yeah, I'm happy for him. To be honest, I've never not liked him. I was really sad when he left McLaren, knowing that they brought him all the way through his karting career and everything. But I guess that's business too, isn't it?
Yes, 100%. And I believe on the weekend, actually, it was McLaren's thousandth race.
It was, yeah.
So they did, yeah. So they actually brought Hamilton and a few of the other stalls of the paddock in for a photo with Oscar and Norris and Zach. So it was really good for them to acknowledge the past members of McLaren who were all part of that 1,000 race. So well done to McLaren for that.
Yeah, I like that. And they revealed a statue of Mika Hakkinen at the headquarters too, which I thought was good as well. So, I like the fact that they honour their past a bit too. So,
and for people playing at home, Kimi Antonelli had a towel gifted to him by Kimi by Kim for when they accidentally stole his one. So
yeah,
I think she's been hammered a bit in the media for various reasons, but that's fine. So
she gets hammered a lot, I hear. I didn't have to
I was going to say she's had need of that towel for several reasons in the
past. Yeah. You can't help but it, can you? Yeah. Sorry. In rugby league, my Tigers saw off the Titans to send off Leichhardt Oval for 18 months while it gets a revamp. The important thing is the hill remains, but there's going to be bigger stands and more facilities due for completion for the 2028 kickoff. The most important thing, as I always say about Leichhardt Oval, is it's the only place where you can get a cold pie and a warm beer. So hopefully they'll keep that going when they do their revamp. Origin 2. What I saw of the game, it was really rugby league at its highest level. The Queensland grabbed, a fair win at the MCG. Biggest crowd ever for an Origin match at 92,000. Selwyn Cobbo is playing his best footy ever since he was dumped from the Broncos and now he's at the Dolphins. He is absolutely killing it. Harry Grant continues his excellent dummy half work. And Sam Walker, our halfback, looks like a veteran, not a young bloke with 2 games behind him and a 12 out of 12 conversion ratio, completion rate, even though a lot of those tries have been on the far side. Katoni
12
Staggs,
out of 12 for the series.
Yeah.
Every
kick he's done. Katoni Staggs, sin bin. I thought it was really similar to Ponga's hit in the first game. However, he only got 10 and not a send-off. I thought it was really similar. And that means in 3 weeks we'll have a absolute ripper Suncorp Stadium decider. I still think Queensland can let the 3 tries that New South Wales got were like off an error and off a kick and things like that. So I think we've got the better grub of the Origin this year.
Well, in the telecast, I actually mentioned it. 2 of the 3 tries that they got early were from a mistake, or not. The only one of them was from the legitimate gameplay. Queensland really gifted them, and one of those tries, Katoni Staggs, as it came out today, they found he disrupted the Cobbo in the corner there.
Yeah, they grabbed his leg.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I'm not gonna what's his? I, I do apologise. I don't remember how to pronounce his name, but the Union player
Mark.
who's come over.
Yeah, they just call him Marky. Mark's his nickname. Just stick with that.
Yeah, I know. Angus has got him, and I probably haven't practiced it enough. But he goes from scoring tries with, in the Commonwealth Game sevens. He's been a Wallaby score trier in the World Cup, and now he's a New South Wales score trier in Origin. He has got excellent skills, and I know, his leg was grabbed there, but he probably was going in anyway.
He was. If you actually look at it, there was another try that was disallowed that he was millimeters from scoring. He only just clipped the line when he brought it down. It was an amazingly freak accident. Attempt. He definitely. And today the scores came out for their how they played and he was by far New South Wales' best scored player as per I believe Fox decided. So which is fair enough considering. Yeah, it was well done to him. Fantastic on debut, I believe.
Yeah. We'll see a lot more of him. Yep. And how's AFL treating you?
You know what? It's been a quiet week for me. Lions did win last week. I think I talked about it, but on the weekend, the Lions have a bye. So it's really good. So last week we played Richmond in Hobart and did well enough. This week it's just nice and quiet, and I think they've all gone off to have a bit of a rest time and whatnot. So there's not been much, not even the social media teams really posting. They're just repeating the same stuff from 2 weeks ago. So I think everyone's having a good rest and holiday, which just can't come at a better time for the Lions, to be honest. Other than that, to be honest, I spent more time watching the soccer.
Yeah, World Cup. So you're off next Thursday because you're at the Lions game, aren't you?
Oh yeah, Lions are playing the Swans, so it's a big one. The person I sit next to is a Swan supporter, so last year we got smashed with rain of that game and didn't end up going. So this year I've got to go and really give it to her because I had ever since we beat them in the grand final a couple of years ago. It's funny.
Well,
so that's all right.
Speaking of the World Cup, it's been amazing, and it's probably been a positive multicultural event that the world's probably needed this year. There's been so many really cool stories, underdog stories, refugee stories. It's been really uplifting to hear some of the results, and countries that have like Cape Verde has a population of 500,000 people, and they drew with Spain that has a population of 50 million people. To get them their first ever World Cup point. Like I know there's 48 teams now, but just those little stories coming through. The Democratic Republic of the Congo going through with scoring their first goal, and it's really heartening to see the passion and the pride and the multiculturalism of the whole competition so far.
Well, one of the things that I've really gotten into is after 28 years in the wilderness, Scotland are back in the World Cup. So they managed to get some points the other day, which is fantastic for them. But honestly, my biggest story, and this is beer news, so it's acceptable. They actually have drunk Boston Dry. So the Tartan Army, there's a really good shots of them with the bagpipes out walking down the street, and they are all, there's a whole heap of them. I think there was like 18,000 or something in total in the city. A heap of them went to Fenway Park and watched the Red Sox play, and they continued the tradition of keeping a boring sport entertaining by chanting and singing the whole way through the game, and the Americans are absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and the other team that's been really good, which is not necessarily an underdog, but always good for pre-game entertainment, is the Netherlands and their left-right song. You just see a sea of orange dancing
Yep.
along with the Euro beat and getting into it. It's great fun. Great fun.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
it's been a blinder to see. I've really enjoyed it. Of course, Australia had a massive win over Turkey, 2-1 win when we were 100% not going to win. From all reports, their team has a contracted value 6 times higher than ours at 600 million euro, where the Aussie team's 100 million euro. Um, it was a huge defensive, every time that Turkey made a break, that we numbered up and really fought hard. Our goalie, who is our third choice, goalie Beach,
Oh,
had an absolute cracker. He's still rated as the best goalie so far with 8 saves. So it's really cool to see it. A lot of the interviews from the players praising how multicultural aspects of the team relate to Australia and their struggles, being refugees, and how football/soccer gave them an opportunity, and now they're repaying it, and it reflects it. And you see all these. I saw a news on ABC were playing a story tonight. A couple of the players played for Adelaide, and all these kids are saying, "Oh, you played for my club, and look where you are now." And I just absolutely love all that. Poor Curacao and Tunisia weren't so lucky. They both were beaten comprehensively by much powerful teams, but it's still really cool to see them there. The gameplay has been great. The hydration breaks are 100% commercial breaks. However, that doesn't really bother me too much. And it's 5 a.m. kickoff this Saturday for the Socceroos to take out the USA.
yeah, the USA that drastically underestimated Australia, to the extent that after the win we had against Turkey, that the American guys gone, oh, I've got to go back and research them, because clearly they've gone, oh, look, you're not playing in the Premier League, so I don't care about you.
Yeah.
When there's been a lot of Australians who've been playing in La Liga and other than Matt Ryan, but a lot of the A League, there's seven players that have come out of the A League in the Australian team, which is probably a testament to how good the Australian A League is.
Yeah.
So can't complain there. It's a win for Australia, and I mean,
Yeah.
look, honestly, I honestly don't think we'll go deep.
No.
But as long as we beat the Americans,
Yep.
we'll be right. And basically, that win pretty much guarantees us getting into the next round. So
Yeah. You get out of
it's
the
actually
group
quite good.
stage, which is
Yep.
probably all we can expect. But
Yeah.
just if we can get America, or even draw with America, that would be great. The Japanese, crowd picking up all the rubbish after the games. Their manager came out and said that they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the Dutch. A lot of the Japanese coaches and refs and everything learnt from the Dutch, and there wouldn't be a J League without the influence they've had from the Dutch football community. So there's just so much love and compassion over a really awful commercial FIFA body, but the World Games seems to get around that as much as possible, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to look at, though, after, like, you talk about some of the smaller teams and some of the bigger teams are taking for granted, and particularly the Americans and the American public, not public, the American policymakers just not getting the concept of it being a world game and a multicultural game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I can't talk about the politics around the sport of soccer. I'm not that invested. So I could not see the chairman doing well at the next elections based on his opinion and policy and how he's run the game for these. Yes, it's been all about money, and he'll probably make a lot of money because the Americans will make sure he makes a lot of money. But I don't think it's been good for the game overall.
No, well, it's the biggest laughing stock of the sporting community has always been the FIFA ethics community. So, and remember, they're a not-for-profit organisation, but you wouldn't know it. So, very interesting.
Well, on that ethics committee tried to. They were more worried about the fun Australian game that they were trying to say is a gang sign the other day from the Australian referee that a bit misplaced, and that's definitely not what that was.
I bet you his mates were just daring him to do that anyway. He said he didn't do it on purpose. He 100% did, but
he waited 2 seconds and then did it.
maybe not in time and place, but anyway. The last one I had was basketball. So I'm not really a big fan now. I was when I was a kid in the whole Jordan, Shaq era. NBA Jam was, we used to play that at the arcade. Remember when there were arcades at video shops? I don't know if you do. I'm a bit older than you, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I was going to say on that, I saw a post today that the Maruka Bowls Club has the Pitbull Championships. So I'm well aware they're around the corner, so I'll go down and see them.
Fantastic. However, it was the New York Knickerbockers took out the championship against the San Antonio Spurs last week. First time in 27 years, the city went crazy. Fans came out of the woodwork, sewers, etc., to celebrate. I'm glad they've dropped that name and just call themselves the New York Knicks now. I don't think the Knickerbockers was really the best name for them. I actually had to look that up because I didn't think it was true.
I understand it was true, but I agree with you that the Knicks is just a better name.
Yeah, but it seems to be something really positive for New Yorkers and Americans, I guess, to have sort of an underdog, someone that hasn't been around for a long time, do well, and their socialist mayor really got behind it, which with Mondani, which is it's lifting the spirits of the city, despite all the issues they're having, I guess.
Well, he's a man of the people. He got a late ticket, $1,000 to GA, standing room only, up the top of the stadium.
Yeah.
Didn't try and use his privilege to do better, unlike Donald Trump, who turned up for half a game, fell asleep, and made the Knicks lose and pissed the city off because they had to cancel watch parties.
Yeah, because they couldn't watch out in the streets because the president was around. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
A big difference, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. So,
and everyone in Australia goes, well, who sort of cares about, a mayor of a city when the population of that city is close to, pretty much our country. So there's a reason why the mayor races for these cities are so important too.
Well, I used to always like it was always the tradition at the SCG on one of the days during the test match that Bob Hawke would scull a beer.
Yep.
Yeah, it was nothing praise like that sort of stuff. The Prime Minister will always turn up to at least one day of the game and see, it's just a remarkable. We are so much more laid back, and we should be really privileged that we are in Australia. It's fantastic.
Yep. Not bad at all. And on that bombshell, I think that'll do us for the week. I won't see you next week, but should see Angus. Thank you, everyone, for listening, watching, and putting up with us. Make sure you join in on our Facebook page to keep up with the conversation. And thank you all for listening.
Definitely, always encourage people to post and any topics or comments you want us to discuss.
Yeah,
do you think we ramble on about sport too much, or want to talk about something? Let us know.
Yeah,
I'm happy to talk for it. I can talk out of wet cement if I have to.
Yeah, And in a fortnight, we might put that to the test.
Done.
Alrighty, thank you everyone, and we'll catch you next week.
See you soon.